Okay, welcome back to the Pro Bricky YouTube channel, guys. Great to have you here. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and ring the bell. Like and share the video if it's down your alley. Let's see what's going down today. Really good looking chick, this chick.
If you want a girl to fall in love with you, literally just do this. So you've got the girl, you're going to be her #1 supporter. You're going to make her...
Guys, you cannot take advice from women. I'm telling you, you can't. If you're her #1 supporter, I'm telling you, she's going to get the shits with you after a while. She's going to tell you to get up the road. And she's going to find some guy that's going to fucking, discipline her a little bit. Women love discipline. They love leadership. If you're just walking around as a #1 fucking supporter, guys, no. You're not a fucking person in the crowd in her movie. You lead. You show the way. Be careful of this stuff, guys.
You're not even going to tell her you're into her. You're just going to be a friend, okay?
Oh, so you're going to fucking try and deceive her. No, guys. Come in there fucking stiff and hard and erect. Be a gentleman. But be masculine. Come on, guys. Don't listen to this stuff. Honestly, don't. No. This girl in 5 years' time, she'll be sick and tired of the bloke she's talking about. She'll be looking for somebody that's a little bit hard and going to get to the point. Guys, please be careful of this fucking advice. As a matter of fact, reject it.
Who listens to her, empathises with her. And if she's ever in need of some support, you're going to be there for her.
Well, guys, honestly, are you not going to be there for her? Are you not going to listen to her? Are you not going to fucking empathise with her? Come on, guys. This is something that you do in the flow. She's quite an attractive girl, this girl. She could probably be a model. But see, you don't want to pedestalize a woman. It all sounds grandiose and romantic and everything, but I promise you guys, they're going to get the shits with it. They're going to get bored of it. It's not female nature to be able to sustain that.
Got a complaint. If someone's being mean to her, you're going to reassure her and tell her.
If somebody's being fucking mean to her, you're going to confront it.
#1, tell her how beautiful she is.
And you're going to tell her how beautiful she is and give her a baby as well. No, guys.
How amazing she is. Give her advice when you need it, because
guys,
if you advise the
woman... don't just tell a woman she's fucking all amazing for the sake of it. She could be an absolute nightmare. She could be behaving like a nightmare. I'll tell my girl if she's amazing or not, right? I haven't got a problem with that, but not just for the sake of it. Not just because she's fucking standing there in lingerie and hot like this. Like this, Sheila would have blokes running after her left, right and centre, but she'll get tired of it. Absolutely, 100%. She'll get tired of it. And she'll get bored with it. And she'll need some hardness and some discipline and some good love like that. A lot of these women are leaving their husbands and boyfriends and everything because they're too soft. Be careful of this advice, guys. It misleads you.
As her friend, eventually she will probably fall in love with you.
Guys, she's not even sure what she's saying herself. Really, she's not. If you have to hang around a bird as a friend and all this sort of stuff, no. She's either going to be your girlfriend or she's not. It's as simple as that. And I'm telling you, if girls like you, please listen to me, guys. If a girl likes you, you don't have to be a friend. She wants you for your fucking masculinity, not for your friendship. You'll be a friend and listen. Of course you will. But that's secondary to the girl being your bird. It's all ass up, guys. Honestly, it's all ass up. It's so fucking ass up. And, the narrative today, the feminine narrative being put on men, please, guys, no. Exercise, be strong, fit, be aware. They want to see alertness. They want to see somebody that's going to be able to dish out what they're really looking for. You don't want to fucking will come up to it. No, man, no. Be careful of this feminine advice, guys. It doesn't always work. As a matter of fact, it's toxic and it will turn around and eat you up. Guys, I just want to say to you, the immaturity, the lack of responsibility and accountability, the deceitfulness, the immorality that's going on out there now, you've got next to no chance of really getting anything substantial. And if you do, I guarantee something at some stage is going to jump out at you and go boo, and you're going to go, where the fuck did that come from? A lot of these people are not developing themselves, they're not healing themselves, they're smashing themselves and letting people infiltrate them and treat them like crap. They're getting kicked to the curb. They don't know if they're coming or going. They're going back for more. They're getting terribly damaged and wrecked, and they think they can give advice. Guys, honestly, oh God, be careful, guys and girls. It's a mess out there.
I'm going to tell you about the exact moment I realized I needed to leave my 8-year relationship.
Well, hang on, guys. If you've been in a relationship for 8 years, that's a pretty big investment. And the damage that would follow on from that would almost be irreparable, because you've invested so much of yourself for so long. And you've psychologically and spiritually culturalized yourself to that person's spiritual and cultural attributes. And a lot of us forget about, well, a lot of us don't even fucking know about this, that you're sculpturing yourself to that person's invisible fucking spiritual and soul part. You're soul tying and soul sculpturing yourself to that person, and you can really never undo it. That's why you never forget the people that you're with, and that's why you should never swap and change and all this sort of stuff, because you're adding pieces to a sculpture that shouldn't be there. It's like a sculpture that's been made really well, and then it's got just these things added to it that shouldn't be there. Guys, sort of like these sculptures here, you just bits and pieces, you become bits and pieces of everything. You lose your identity, you lose, the main attributes of yourself, because you've allowed so much to come into yourself. You can't filter it out. It just adds to you, and everything people end up fucked up, man. We are not designed to swap and change. I'm telling you, it's just the truth. We are not designed for this. But this generation, this time in history, people are being taught that you can swap and change, and it's undetrimental to your spiritual, emotional, and psychological welfare. But it damages you, guys. It wrecks you. So she's left a relationship of 8 years. Oh God, if you could just sit down and talk to these people and say stay, you would.
When I was younger, I dated someone all the way through high school, literally from before I went into grade 9, I was so young, until all 4 years college, university. And I broke up with him about a month before our 8-year anniversary. I would say I was already unhappy and unsure about the relationship about 4 years before I actually left it.
Well, again, could she have talked and worked it out? And why did she stay for another 4 years? It doesn't make sense. I've had women that have honestly, not one, but several, that have stayed in marriages for 10 years, longer than they should have, apparently for the children. But don't believe that bullshit, guys. A lot of Sheilas get culturalized to like the drama and the abuse and the shit that comes with it. And you meet them and they'll go, oh, I've been on my own for 5 years. They haven't been on their own for 5 years. They've been getting banged here and there. It might be, big gaps in between. But don't believe those lies, guys. There's always some person that's prowling around that they'll bang and then get dumped. And not only that, if they got children, they're never on their own. They surrogate the children into partners and emotionally incestualize them, and sometimes physically as well. Guys, honestly, this sort of video, it's an indirect way of encouraging people to swap and change and fuck themselves up.
But I attributed that just to the transition from high school to college, university, going to different schools. It was very stressful. But the exact moment I knew that the relationship was over was at my cousin's wedding. So my cousin was getting married. She's the oldest of my generation, first one in my generation of cousins to get married. Obviously, I was
So he's given it a crack. You got to give credit to him. Maybe she should have taken notice of that.
bringing my boyfriend with me to the wedding. He was basically part of the family. He was around all the time, knew everyone very well. I asked him to take that day off work so that we could make it to the wedding, get ready. You know, there was no struggle about getting to the wedding. And of course, he did not take the day off work. So he was working right up till we had to leave. I remember showing up to his house, his parents' house at the time.
Well, guys, that sounds pretty fucking responsible to me. I'm getting tired of these bitches that complain about their men going to work because they should be, you know, doing something or other for them. And then in the next breath, oh, we've got no money and you don't provide. Guys, stay on your purpose, stay on your responsibilities. And I know I've done this before. I've turned up at the last minute because of responsibilities and it's been okay. But see, this girl's a little bit self-centered and privileged. I think she's been too hard on this bloke.
And like pacing in front of his bedroom door, waiting for him to get home because like we needed to leave. Like my family, my parents had already left to go to
Well, that's her fucking problem. I mean, if she wants to create stress and drama, and not back the fact that the guy was going to make it, that's something she has to deal with. You can't just automatically fucking turn on him.
Wedding. When we got there, everyone was already seated. Like I was stressed. At the time I wasn't medicated, so anyway.
Okay, so she's on medication. I kind of wasn't medicated. Hang on. What'd she just say?
Medicated, so
hang on.
Anyway, that's all besides the point.
I gotta fucking replay that.
To go to the wedding. When we got there, everyone was already seated. Like I was stressed. At the time I wasn't medicated, so
okay, she fucked the medication up. Now we see, guys, honestly, a lot of these women are medicated. For the majority now are medicated because they don't deal with their issues. They don't want to have the responsibility and accountability that they should. They got kids intruding into their fucking relationships. They got kids letting them into they're letting children into their private lives. They're meeting blokes and blokes are going, hey, pull this up. And they're fucking running these guys into the ground. They're running it as long as they can. And they're wondering why men are saying, I'm fed up with your kind. And then they'll sit at home and fucking have a pity party and then they'll draw the kids back in. Oh, it's a fucking mess, guys. Be careful.
Anyway, that's all besides the point. So
medicated.
We sit down, we're watching the wedding happen. It's very sweet. Everyone's teary. I'm teary. I get teary at weddings. I remember looking at my cousin. I remember watching her up there on the altar. And they were doing their vows. And I remember looking at them and like the love that they had. And then I remember looking over at my boyfriend. And I remember thinking to myself, whatever they have up there, I don't have here. I remember very clearly.
Guys, maybe she had it at the start and then times wore away at her and she's gone, fuck this, I'm bored with this. And that's what happens to a lot of these girls now, and women, older women as well. They're all fucking losing it. They're getting bored. They don't know how to fucking appreciate what they've got. Now, in some instances, if the person's no good, well, and everything's been done and it's just ended up in duress, then yeah, possibly. But now she's comparing herself to a woman standing at the altar, right? Standing at the altar in comparison to her sitting in the fucking pew.
Thinking like, I don't have what they have with this man beside me. And
you know what, guys? You can't have what somebody else has. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. See, this is the culture today. If I'm missing out on something, if I think I'm missing out on something, I need to have what I'm missing out on at the cost and expense of everybody else. Oh, I've done 6-week fucking, this is what happens when you get married courses. This is, you know, for the rest of your life. Oh, yeah, we're going to go. I've had people get the fucking break up 6 weeks later. You know, and usually for interference reasons, little brat kids, you know, that aren't theirs, stuffing things up, be it either side. Adult children just aren't going to accept what's going on. And some of these children will walk their fucking mothers down the aisle and all this shit, and then they're the very ones that break the marriage up. It's absolutely disgraceful, guys. Don't feel sorry for these women. They're making horrible, ridiculous, wicked choices that are not only affecting themselves for life, but people that are trying to give them a good life as well. They've got no comprehension of what the consequences of these bad choices are until they get older and they've fucking ruined themselves and they end up on their own because it becomes all too hard. They're not loved and appreciated. Once they hit 30, guys, things go downhill fast. They might be lucky and strike a couple of guys here and there, but they'll fuck it up. Because this kind of mindset becomes a pattern and a way of life. It becomes a pattern and a way of behaviour, and they can't break it. And you can't see it on the surface. And remember, this Sheila's medicated, man. If she fucks a medication up, guess who's going to wear the consequences of her attitude and behaviour? You. And the majority of these women now are fucking medicated because they don't want to be accountable and responsible. They don't know how to recalibrate their minds and to heal their minds. They're out there trying to build things with no foundation to build. Be fucking careful, guys and girls, please.
Honestly, like a clicked aha moment. Like, oh shit, this needs to end. Like this, I don't have that. And I want that. Now, mind you,
guys, honestly, how did she not know that she didn't love this guy? Because she saw two people getting married? Guys, can you see how delusional this is? Now, come on. The fucking relationship was okay until she was sitting in the pew and saw somebody getting married. Now, most Sheilas at a wedding want to get it on with their guy. But she missed the medication. He was running late. Can you see how it just escalates? The guy did nothing wrong at all. It's all in her fucking mind. So she's deciding, listen, he can't see all this. If only he could have read her mind. That she's single-handedly fucking demolitioning her relationship. And this happens all the time. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry that I'm being brutal, but let's get down to the meat and potatoes. That's what these fucking videos are for. You've got to stay in your masculine frame, and you've got to be aware of what's going on, because you're up against drugs, you're up against alcohol, you're up against medications, and a lot of the time these things are mixed. Guys, honestly, it's fucking dangerous out there.
This relationship lasted almost another full year. So that wedding was in October, and I broke up with him in July. I think for the most part, we just grew apart. We were growing into different people.
Fucking growing apart? No. She just said she wanted to have the same experience as that lady was having at the fucking altar. Guys, really? Has she been to the altar since? I don't think so. She's got a ring in her fucking nose, not on her finger.
So hard to be with someone from that age. Some people do it. My parents did it. But I was definitely struggling with my identity. I didn't know who I was as an individual person.
Here we go, guys. Far out, man. This is beautiful. You won't get this shit. You could not pay thousands of dollars for this, man. This is the top-notch fucking exposure of the mind and mentality of these women, modern-day women, right? And that's the beauty of these TikTok videos. They're telling us what we're fucking getting ourselves into. Oh, I lost my fucking identity. Oh, I didn't know who I was. Guess who's paying for it, guys? The fucking bloke that she's with.
And at the end of the day, he just wasn't the right person for me, and I wasn't the right person for him. But
at the end of the day, she wasn't the right person for him, guys. She wasn't. She just wasn't. And if he had been married to her, guess what? He loses his children, he loses his fucking relationship, and he loses his assets. All because she decided it's time for me to realise I don't know myself. And because of that, this isn't for me. It's all about me. This is fucking atrocious, guys. This is gold.
Was the exact moment that I attribute to knowing that I needed to leave that relationship, and that I knew that I would be leaving that relationship.
And guys, that's what you're up against in this modern day world. It's fucking atrocious. And you've got to be on your game. You've got to be aware. You don't know what's going on underneath fucking in the mind of these women, especially if they're medicated on drugs, and just aren't in a good state within themselves. Honestly, anything could happen at any time. You don't know. And this is why a lot of guys are losing their minds and their lives and fucking their children and assets and everything else. Because the women today are culturalized they've in a way in which the value of sorting out the issues and resolving themselves and the shit going on around them, right, that they're bringing into the relationship, be it children that aren't your own. And I know I say that a lot, but it's, guys, there's an epidemic of surrogate partners that are coming out of the children of these fucking women. And they're just destroying everything in their path. And they don't have to be accountable to anyone. I've confronted, honestly, guys, they hide in the background, covertly fucking undermining all your work that you're putting into this woman. Of course, the woman's blinded by maternal fucking instinctive bloody feelings and stuff. Oh, it's pathetic to watch, guys. It really is. And it doesn't matter how hard they try, the fucking dysfunctional crap that the children bring always jumps out to get you in the end. Don't date single mothers, guys. Don't do it. It's not going to work out for you. You're just a fill-in. So if you're with a woman that's a single mother, just know you're just a fill-in. You're not fucking important. You have to accept that. You are not important in a single mother marriage. And if you think you are, let the kids fucking come over the top of you and see how important you are. Wake up, guys. Honestly, this is Pro Bricky on the Pro Bricky exclusive YouTube channel. Subscribe, ring the bell. Like and share the video if it's down your alley. There's stacks of stuff on here now. We're getting a few more views lately. People are starting to know we're here. And I'll catch you on the next one.